Hi, everybody. Um, I'm redoing this one. I took the music out and I'm going to be talking you through it, I hope. So, this is what we're going to be using. If you can't find the lights, that's okay. We're going to roll out a backing sheet. Don't make it too thick because we'll be adding onto it. And can't talk. Our snowman bodies are rounded triangle shapes. And we're going to make two large ones for the mother and the father, and then two smaller ones on either side for the children. Now, you can do this for single parents, just use one of the larger ones. Now, here, just smooth them out, don't flatten them. And of course, you can do, I've done up to 7 children, maybe, I think, I can't remember on this, but it's kind of tough going. You have to get a little bit smaller. 7 is a lot, 7 children. But I think 4 to 5, 4 to 6 children might be all right. And here we added the children on the side. And now we're going to do on the bottom. Now I decided to do little individual things under each one because this is where I'm going to put the names. So they're standing on their own little piece of snow. This one sold very well at the shows, but you have to ask more money for it because it is much more work. But if you sell online, the nice thing about selling online is that you can make them as you get the orders. So you don't have to have 50 of them made to take to a show. Now, this is the mom and dad's arms, and they're going to be holding the star. Now, don't only press it on at the top because we're going to be moving the arms to hold the star. I'm going to put their heads on, roll some white balls, put their heads on. And their scarf. And you really have to do this in a certain sequence. Like if you put the children's heads on now, that wouldn't work because you'd have a problem with the scarf overlapping onto their head. You would rather have the head overlapping onto the scarf. Now we're going to do the star. Now you can have them holding a star, a snowflake, a heart, whatever you want. And of course, you can use whatever colors you want for the hats and the scarves. And if you make a lot of these, I would definitely invest in a good star cookie cutter. Get the ones with the different sizes. Now we're putting on the heads, and I made the children's heads a little bit smaller. And if you can't find the lights anywhere because they, for some reason, are hard to find nowadays, just leave them off. You don't have to have him holding anything or have him holding maybe a little snowflake or even have him holding a candy cane like the other one. Excuse me. Now we're making the little candy cane that the other little snowman will be holding. Now we're going to cut off the excess. And I use the needle tool because I have a tendency to cut myself with the exacto knife. Now right there, I should have left just a little bit above him, but I didn't. But it turned out okay. But I like to leave, if I'm putting hats on, I like to leave a little bit of the backing sheet above their heads so that I can have somewhere to add it onto because it stabilizes the hats and everything a little bit better. You can see how his head was sticking out on the back there. So just leave a little bit of the base clay on there. Now I'm doing Santa's top hat, but I'm not putting the brim of the hat on. I'm going to wait to put that on until after we do Santa. He's not Santa, he's a snowman. After Mrs. Snowman's hat, I'm going to put the brim on. I don't know why I always call them Santas. You know, it's funny, my mother did the same thing. Maybe she's sending me a message from heaven. Now we're doing the scarf for the children. And of course, Mrs. Snowman, you don't have to make her hat gold. You can make it any color you want. Now, I know over 3,000 of you have watched this video, the one with the music in it, and I apologize for that, but that's when I was first starting. And I'm starting to get more comfortable with speaking. So I hope this is better for you. And of course, if you have questions about the video, always ask them down in the section below in the comments. I am recording this on November 1st, 2020. I did the video a few years ago, but I did, like I said, I did it with music, and nobody likes the music. You all want me to talk you through it. Doing the brims of the hats, and I'm going to be changing that one because I thought it was too small. You'll see that later. And I should have had that on a white sheet. Of course, we're doing the texturing to make it look like a knit cap. I don't know what I did there. Now we're going to do the brim for, I almost said Mrs. Santa, Mrs. Snowman. She has a little bit fancier hat. She doesn't wear a knit cap. Hers is a little, not too much fancier, but still looks like a knit cap to me, though. And Mr. Snowman has a brim on his top hat. And we're putting the hat band around his hat. Make it look more Christmassy. Now at this point I want you to put the hook in because it's so much easier after you put the hook in to put all the little pieces on because you might squash them if you put the hook in afterwards. Oh, look, see. We will prevent squashed noses. Hook, hanger, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what I usually call it. Do I call it the hook or the hanger? I should call it the hanger, I imagine. I don't know. Now we're doing the holly leaves and the berries. And we're not going to put it on the children's hats, just the mother and the father and the star. And I hope you like this better than the one with the music. I will leave the one with the music up for a little while, but then I will be taking it down. And I will put a note by it that I will be taking it down. If I remember to do that, I will try to remember. Yes, I think it looks better larger, the hat there. We have to give him a nice big hat because we don't want the snowman's head to get cold. All right, that was supposed to be funny. Ha ha. And now we have to do, I believe, a nose. Now I like to roll it to a point like that because then it's easier to take the little noses off. You just take the little bits off. And I'm pressing them on very well. This clay has been very conditioned. And your clay really has to be well conditioned for the pieces to adhere to each other. If you feel like the noses might fall off, then just put a little dab of liquid clay where you want to put the nose. Just a little dab, not a lot. And that should keep it on. Now, if you want, you can paint the mouth on. You don't have to do it the way I did. And as always, blush before you bake. Because if you forget, it's going to be very hard to get that nice blushy look. Blushy, is that a word? I don't know. But trust me, I've forgotten and it's not fun. And of course, follow the directions on your package of clay to bake because some of the clays are different, and depending on the clay that you use, you need to bake it according to what it says on the package. And there it is. And I would say it's about a 3 by 5 ornament, in case you're wondering about the size. And this is after I painted the eyes on and the little white dots. So that's it. Bye, everybody.